Hello, my friends, and welcome back. School's in again, my friends. School is in. Today, we're going to talk about why women stop having sex with their partners. Yeah. This usually occurs in long-term marriages, relationships which have usually hit anywhere between the 6, 7, 8 year mark. Then the woman starts to ration off sexual activity. It rarely happens with men unless the men have gone through some sort of physical transformation where he's older, his libido or testosterone levels have dropped significantly. And that's another discussion on where I can help you how to cure that, because that's a pretty easy fix in a lot of situations. But more men complain about their wives no longer wanting to have sex with them. And over the years of talking to women, I have discovered a lot of different reasons why this happens, right? Well, not really a lot. They usually fall under 2 or 3 different categories. But in essence, it is a big problem amongst relationships. And that's what we want to discuss today. So guys, buckle up. This is going to be a hot one. And before we go anywhere, listen, we're trying to get the community built. I am now putting our community website together. Almost there. Hopefully by the end of this week, we can get up and running. Okay, so if you haven't joined up for free yet, get on board. Go to askanolderman.com. Sign up for the community. Join our community. I'm trying to bring like-minded people together. Yes, I've got a lot of subscribers on this channel, both males and females. Yes, more men, but the women who are listening to me are like-minded people. And I know that a lot of these men would love to meet these women, because these are women who have woken up to the fact that they have been lied to, or they've already been red-pilled. They want to start over. They want companionship. And these are women and men from all over the globe. It's quite amazing the variety of people I have attracted to this site from all over. Man, you gotta love YouTube. Seriously. But if you want to talk to me, book a chat, askanolderman.com. We can do that as well. I can try to help solve any of your problems. If you have a quick question, get me over on Instagram on the same handle, Ask an Older Man. Send me a voice message and I will respond. I promise you. Okay? Let's get back to the subject. Now, I went to TikTok. So I found this doctor who is apparently an expert in this field, relationships and, human sexuality. And I want you guys to listen to her, because I want someone to give me their impression from a clinical perspective. And to be honest, I wasn't impressed, but I want your opinion on it, especially you gentlemen that have gone through this problem or are going through this problem where your wife has literally just rationed off the sex once a month, once on a Tuesday every fortnight. Yeah, it gets that bad. And I will give you my impression and my opinions after we listen to her and critique her for a bit. But I want you guys to understand that this is a universal problem, and it keeps a lot of relationships miserable, and it is responsible for a lot of people stepping out, whether it's the male or the female stepping out of the relationship, looking to satisfy their sexual needs outside of the relationship. So let's listen to the doctor here. She makes it very clear that she's an expert in this field.
This is the biggest reason that women stop having sex with their husbands, and I know what's coming in the comment section and I don't care, because I have to spit the truth. And yes, I do know what I'm talking about. I know, Stuart, you're going to comment and say, well, maybe it's this, this, and this, and you're going to get kind of mad about what I have to say, but here's the deal. I have a doctorate in social psychology. I've spent my entire adult life studying romantic relationships, the science of romantic relationships, both studying the science as well as publishing in the science. And so I am very well versed in this topic, not to mention that I've seen thousands of clients and heard from thousands of women about why they won't have sex with their husbands. So, Joe, if you know better, for sure put it in the comments, but I think I have some credibility.
Fair enough. She's qualified herself. She has a doctorate. She's taking this from a clinical perspective. It is up to us, gentlemen, to humble ourselves and say, hey, let's listen. There might be something we are overlooking as men. Because who are we to understand what's going on in the mind of a woman.
The primary reason why women stop having sex with their husbands is because they don't feel emotionally safe.
Oh, God. Emotionally safe. She married a man that she wants to spend the rest of her life with. She gave him her womb. He put a roof over her head. They're building a life together, but she's not emotionally safe. Oh, wow. You know what? Hey, I'm going to listen.
And the reason that they don't feel emotionally safe is because their attachment needs are not being met inside of their relationship. Attachment needs are our deepest needs inside of a romantic relationship. And if those things are not fulfilled, we will not feel emotionally safe. And especially for women, when there is a lack of emotional safety, they start feeling very unsafe giving their bodies to their partner, and they start to feel extremely unattracted to their partner.
Oh, God. All right. Okay. I'm just holding my thoughts. I'm just gonna go with it. Let's keep going, gentlemen. Let's keep going.
Like, they simply can't get physically turned on by their partners anymore. So if you're not familiar with my content, you might be asking, how do I know what their attachment needs are? Well, there's a lot of information about attachment out there. You could dig through my videos and you could probably very easily figure out the attachment style of your partner. Attachment science has been around since 1958. It's been studied empirically in thousands of empirical studies. Go to PubMed. The studies are out there, okay? Or you can work with me and I'm happy to assess the attachment of your partner. And here's what you need to know. The different attachment styles have very, very different needs. So knowing the attachment style of your partner is really the keys to the kingdom and getting all your needs met inside of the relationship as well. So the anxious preoccupied, their biggest need is love, affection, and reassurance. So they need lots of reassurance every single day that you love them, that the relationship is stable, and that you are, in fact, appreciative of them. And they really have all the love languages. They just want lots of reassurance of your love, okay? The fearful avoidant, I just did a video on this. Their biggest need is to be able to feel seen, heard, and understood in the relationship, aka trust you to show up for them in a way that feels good to them. Okay? So really leaning into seeing, hearing, and understanding them and making a lot of space for their feelings is super important. For the dismissive avoidant woman, it's going to be space, autonomy, and lack of criticism, aka peace and harmony inside the relationship. So a lot of times what I see is that women are expressing my emotional needs are not met, aka their attachment needs, and I physically cannot get turned on by my partner anymore. In fact, they start to get disgusted, like they get the ick, so majorly bad. And could you open up your body and allow someone to penetrate your being if you feel disgusted by them? They feel like they're violating themselves and someone is violating them. And trust me, I do videos on why meeting a man's sexual needs is very important inside of a relationship. So I'm definitely not one-sided on this. I'm just trying to share the woman's side here. And I know I may get roasted in the comments by the men, and I'm expecting it, and I don't care. And none of my self-esteem comes from what, Bob thinks, right? But I know that I'm going to have a lot of women in the comments shouting, thank you. Thank you for saying what's been so hard for me to say or what my husband is not hearing.
Wow. So apparently there are 3 attachment styles. I'm going to get into them after I give my feedback here because I have a book that deals with these so-called attachment styles. But here's my point. When you commit yourself to a man or that woman, or you get a man who commits himself to you, ladies, you expect him to perform certain duties within the line of marriage. One of the major things that this man expects is that his wife will provide him with a sexual outlet. And the same thing that man expects from you. Because if you're all going to be monogamous, this is a requirement. And we know without a doubt that once sexual intimacy stops within a marriage, it is not far from a permanent split thereafter. Because it's usually never both parties losing their sexual appetite simultaneously. Usually, it's the woman that drops it first, and the man still has an appetite, and he goes out to get his needs met, and it causes a conflict. If the woman steps out and the man discovers it, then we have a problem as well. So it is vital, regardless of how both of you feel about your emotional needs, you damn well better fix it, ladies. In this whole crap about emotional needs, how many of you will still not have a problem getting some big dude that turns you the hell on to bend you over in a bathroom stall right now? I can tell you most wives and most women will do that shit in a heartbeat. Has nothing to do with emotional needs. She will bend her ass over some car trunk right now with some guy ripping her underwear off, plowing in the back of her because she is horny. This idea that, oh, my emotional needs and I need to be tenderly adhered to. All I hear here is what this woman is telling me is emotional blackmail. That's all. Treat that woman like she's a tender piece of meat, that she has to be flowers. Throw some rose pebbles on her. Yes, every day. Tell her how gorgeous and how beautiful she is, and you will get the punani. Bullshit. We know that's bullshit. That guy becomes just a sniveling retard, and the woman will lose respect for him. Emotional needs, my ass. This woman, I can tell you, 99% of the time, the only reason that woman will lose her desire to have sex with that man is because it's damn monotonous and boring. Because prior to her getting married, she used to get dicked down by 3 or 4 freaking guys every other month. The majority of these women. And they miss those damn streets. That's all it is. They miss the variety. That is the number one reason. Practically every woman will say, he just got boring. It's the same thing. He does the same thing. He don't do anything different. But when the poor man tries to do something different, what she says? Oh, don't do that. I don't like that. I don't like that. Just do what I like so I can get off really quick. Because he knows what gets her off quickly. But you make any freaking guy in Jamaica who's rubbing her down on some hotel one night stand just to get that rush again. Oh, she'll be giving that punani up like you would not. It would be so quick. I know. I've been there. I've been that guy. Everywhere you can imagine. In my young days, oh gosh, many married women. Many women with other men. And that's the number one reason these women have told me why they freaking stepping out. Husband's boring. He don't do that. He don't do it for me anymore. It's boredom. Woman's kryptonite is boredom, familiarity. And then when they reach into their older years, the late years, their late 40s and 50s, menopause kicks in, their hormones start to go crazy. And it could go one or two ways. They could get incredibly horny and highly sexual. It could just turn back on something, or it turns it off completely. A large percentage of the time, it turns it off completely. The woman goes dry, not producing enough estrogen. Testosterone starts to kick in. Facial hair starts to go in. Whiskers start to come. Her voice gets a lot deeper. Facial muscles start to change. But the man still has to look at her and say, hey, that's my wife, love her. But she don't feel it for him. So this doctor is like one of those mechanics. You ever go to a mechanic and you don't know shit about a car, right? And that mechanic sees that mark coming in. Yeah, something wrong with my car. It's making a noise. I don't know. I saw some smoke and the engine light is on. You know what the mechanic automatically knows? Oh, this guy's a sucker. Oh, I got a good one here. Yeah, the carburetor and the triangulation of the rotary disc in this part. And he starts with this massive amount of convoluted problems that only him can solve. That's her. attachment styles. You need to make sure that she conforms to you conform to her attachment styles. No man is a freaking psychologist to understand what attachment styles his wife has. All she is a freaking nagging rass woman. That's all. All he hears is a miserable woman whose sexual needs aren't getting met properly. More than likely, you just need to hold her ass down and give her what Chad would be giving her. Now, listen, don't jump on my ass for this, right? Because I know all of you little snowflakes are going to come out and say, oh, you advocating that you just hold and be aggressive with your wife. That's what a lot of women want. Unfortunately, that is the reality of it. You all just don't say it. Throw 2 rum and cokes on her, little vodka cranberry. Throw some libations in her, and trust me, have a great old time. Make her feel that she is being plowed by a strange guy. You got to change it up, gentlemen. Because if you don't change it up, you just become a boring dude. You guys have to start playing with your sex life. Role playing, whatever it is, man, you got to get it done. Otherwise, you're looking for a very, very fast or sometimes slow destruction of your relationship. I want to read some of the comments from her page, just so you understand how women think, right? Paige Watkinson says, this is spot on. I have told my husband hundreds of times that I need words of affirmation and reassurance. He refuses to do that, so yeah, just tell me I'm pretty for F's sake. He won't, so yeah, major ick. Yeah, and listen, I can assure you, if this man told her every day that, baby, you're so pretty, you're so gorgeous, just blow smoke up her ass. Even though she's freaking gaining weight, she's out of shape, right? You gotta lie to her about how great and how beautiful she is. I don't do that shit to my wife. Only when it is deserved. She gaining weight, I'll go, baby, you're gaining weight, you're looking juicy. I will use nice terms, and she knows that I don't mean that in a nice way. She knows I'll hit it either way. But she has a lot of pride in herself to know that, okay, he's calling me juicy. I can see it. She's a realist, and she looks in the mirror and she goes, yeah, I know. My diet's been messing up, so I gained 5 pounds, and she makes sure she stays within that window. But to have to tell your wife every freaking day, oh, you look great every day. You think a woman will appreciate that? No, she won't. Because eventually, she will get sick of it as well. Because any man who sucks up to any woman like this constantly will lose. We know that. Jos Mo says, it's like a new car. Eventually, the new wears off. Yes, it does. That's the reality of anything in life. We just got to learn to work at relationships. Most people give up. That's the problem. Most couples give up on certain aspects of it. But one thing that is vital, the glue that holds relationships together, is sex. When you lose intimacy, that's when it goes horribly wrong, my friends. Don't do it. Don't ignore it, ladies. Dr. Sarah, this woman, she responded, maybe the car doesn't drive like it did when it was new. Yeah. So in other words, she's basically saying, maybe the man isn't acting like he was when he was new. Yeah, neither was her, because she used to give it up when the car was new. Most couples start off incredibly well. That's how women trap men. Throw that on him until she caught him. When it becomes familiar, then she starts rationing it off. Then it's a negotiation. Oh, you didn't do that, so I don't feel turned on right now. Because that's what this doctor is saying. If the man don't give her affirmation, if the man does not give her every single thing to make her feel that she is special, she's going to hold the punani hostage. And if he do not pay the ransom for that punani, then she's not giving it up. That's what happens in a lot of relationships. All of this crap about emotional needs and bullshit. I mean, it just drives you insane. Listen to this, man. Let me read 2 more comments. Josie Lynn says, 100%. I have felt like this a lot lately. Thank you for talking about this, because now it makes sense why I'm feeling the way I am in my marriage. Women will grab on to any little freaking excuse not to be responsible for their bad behavior. So this doctor will get every single accolade there is from women who just literally been doing this exact same thing. But ladies, you're doing it wrong. And the problem is, you are always the victim. And then when the man leaves or the man steps out and cheats, oh, he's the bad one. He's the bad one. Look what he did. But no one looks and says, well, what's the reason he did that? Men's sexual needs are incredibly important. He produces a massive amount of sperm every single day. You ladies only do it once. Once a freaking month, you drop one egg. And of course, when you drop that egg, everybody has to be on pins and needles. Oh, she's going, it's that time of the month. Oh, it's that time of the month. Oh, it's that time of the month. For a man, it's that time of the month every freaking day. Every day. He has that sexual need every day. But he has to control himself. But of course, the woman gets a pass once a month. Unbelievable. Ladies, I hope you've seen it from a man's perspective now. Small town hippie says 1000% true. Wow. But I like how this gentleman put this together. Because I've said this many times. Listen to this gentleman. Because all you ladies who tell men what you want, it's not what you want.
All kinds of stuff that's completely disconnected from reality. For example, a woman will say,
I want a man that's vulnerable, that just opens up to me.
the second a man unbirds himself on a woman, she loses respect and attraction for him. Or a woman will say,
No, all I want is a nice guy. I want a guy that just treats me like a princess and takes care of me and is a really good guy.
the second they get the nice guy, they drop him for the dirtbag. Or you'll hear women say, baby, are you okay?
I'm fine.
Trust her when she says, you're wrong. Like, she's not fine. You have to trust what she's doing. What is transpiring with her body language? Too many guys take women at face value. A woman will say, I want this, or this is how I feel, and they will operate on that because that's how we are as guys. We use our words to communicate, not our emotions. If you want to have an effective relationship with a woman, as a man, you have to learn this. This is vital that you learn. Never trust what a woman says. Trust what she does. If what she says aligns with what she does, then you can trust what she says. But if that is not happening, you always follow the body language. You got to recognize that women are going to communicate with their emotions and men are going to communicate with their words. You can take a man at his word because he's going to say what he actually thinks and feels most of the time. You take a woman at her emotions, which means you watch what she does because her emotions will dictate how she acts 100% of the time.
You heard it, gentlemen. You know it. Those of you that follow the red pill narrative, you know it. So these women will tell you, oh, my emotional needs aren't being met. You're not telling me that you love me enough. You're not telling me and affirming. And bullshit. You want to be bent over. You want the different D. That is what is killing you. Routine and monotony and the same is what will kill every single woman. They cannot take it. This is the problem with all sexual relationships. Now, I got this book here, How to Not Die Alone. And in it, it describes, I'm going to summarize the attachment styles that this doctor prescribed for men. And I want you guys to just listen to it so that you all will have a good understanding. This is a teaching moment, gentlemen. I want you guys to understand what women are freaking listening to from other women so that you can understand how to combat this stupidity. And just for a test, try some of these remedies and see what happens. Okay? Just for a test. I can guarantee you it will work, that she will find it nice for a few weeks, but she will stop responding to your kindness and niceness after about 2 to 3 weeks. She's just going to get, okay, shut up. Okay, trust me. These are called attachment theories, right? Attachment theory is a popular framework for understanding relationships. It can help explain why you're attracted to certain people, why past relationships haven't worked out, and why you're trapped in a pattern of bad habits. Ooh. So, first one, you may be anxiously attached. If you crave a lot of closeness, but are insecure about your relationship's future and your partner's interest in you. Okay, that's anxiously attached. Why would you get anxiously attached to someone anyway? But that's a whole other story. But listen, I've seen this type of woman before. Kind of woman you want to stay away from, actually. You know, don't care what you do, it's not enough. She just feels like you're going to leave her. Next, you may be avoidantly attached. If you feel uncomfortable with intimacy and value independence over connection. Oh God, here we go. And then the third, you may be securely attached if you are comfortable with intimacy, spending time alone, and drawing clear boundaries. Okay, you can be comfortable with intimacy, but you draw the boundaries, and you can be alone, but you like intimacy. You're comfortable with intimacy. Oh, for Christ's sake. It's just massively convoluted. Most women don't even understand this crap. When you break it down, it's basically saying, worship me, worship me, worship me some more. And if I have a bad behavior, accept me for my bad behavior. It doesn't matter what I do, whether I'm intimate, whether I'm not intimate, whether I'm detached or attached, whether I'm a hoe, whether I'm a virgin. It doesn't freaking matter. Just be my biatch. Otherwise, I'm not going to give you the panani anymore. Comply or go without this. That's all I hear. It's a selfish way for women to treat men to make them feel that they don't have any choice but to worship their asses. But like this gentleman says, don't listen to what she asks for. Listen to what she responds to. That is the general consensus. And if you can't train or explain or condition, I don't care what word you want to use, your wife, help her to understand that if she has a problem, talk to you about it. If she finds the sex boring, let's talk about what we can do differently. Don't let it get to a point where it has become a problem and you are now frustrated, sexually frustrated in the marriage or in your relationship, and it's going to go out the door. Never make it get to that point. And if that woman cares enough about her relationship, she will do whatever it takes to make sure that she get her shit back in order. That means she suggests something that would help her. All right, my friends, that's the best I can do with this subject. It is a pretty broad subject. I'm only touching on most of the common problems I see. The thing is, there's not many different variances that would stop you from having sex. If you're having healthy sex in the beginning of a relationship, the only two things that could really turn you off is either physical or mental. You need to find what the problem is and fix it. Simple. There's nothing complex about it. All right, my friends. Listen, subscribe if you haven't already. Give me a thumbs up on this message, please, as you leave. And of course, log in to askanolderman.com. Join our community. Let's have a chat. All right, so until next time, remember, whenever in doubt, always ask an older man. I'll see you soon. Cheers.